Hi everyone, it's been some time and we've got some more games like Vampire Survivors to play. And yeah, I know that this genre is not for everyone, but there are still lots of people, including myself, who enjoy some chill with horde survival games. I've recently played some new titles and I thought it was a good time to make another video and show you even more games. So yeah, grab your snacks, relax and let me show you what you can play. Let's start the list with a very simple looking game, but don't be fooled, it is a really good and relaxing experience. It is an action roguelike and bullet hell game, but also an RPG. It is something that differs a bit from your typical Vampire Survivors experience, as in this game you will choose a hero to start your journey and explore different worlds. Each hero has different starting items and strengths, so you have to make a wise decision. The world is procedurally generated, full of enemies to fight, cards to choose from after you level up to strengthen your hero, items to collect, bosses to fight and even NPCs that can also be challenged. Yeah, this game looks simple, but it's really good and cheap, so go ahead and give it a try. This is a game I played recently and I must say I've had a lot of fun playing it. Even though it has kinda simple but really good looking pixel art graphics, it brings you the classic Vampire Survivors experience with some good twists. There are few worlds to conquer, various difficulties to play on and a bunch of interesting characters to pick up. Each character you play has its own playstyle and strengths. What's interesting is that you will level up your character and upgrade its unique abilities. Each character has its own playstyle, as I said, so you have to carefully select upgrades since you won't be able to just throw a certain weapon on each class and play the same build over and over again. If you choose to play with a soldier, you will play around with rifles, reload speed and so on. If you choose a knight, you have to utilize its shield and play close quarters and so on. I am really surprised how good this game is, so I can easily recommend it, as I had a lot of fun playing it. NIMROD is a truly unique title. It is a survivor map shooter in which you, as a gun manufacturer's testing force, have a job to test new weapons and scavenge alien planets. This game has an amazing pixel art style and an interesting idea. It really is super fun and has a lot of build potential. Maps are huge and require exploration, monsters look great, and guns, they are lots of fun. What's great is that every previously tested weapon isn't useless. You can use it again in your runs, it is in your arsenal. This game is a lot of fun and it has the potential to be huge. It's still in early access, so a lot may change in the future. Tower of Babel is a game that is often described as Vampire Survivors merged with Diablo. Why though? You will gather a lot of loot, and there are various items you can equip and use with different stats and rarities. You have your backpack full of items, your collected gold, and you can craft your new equipment. You will survive hordes of enemies, slay rare enemies to get even rarer loot, and create combinations of skill, upgrades and items to make powerful builds. Be careful though, as your journey won't be easy. It is the Tower of Babel and your job is to climb it. What is difficult about it? Well, language barriers. Yeah. Be prepared to climb the floors, meet NPCs on the journey to the top and conquer the tower. This looks like a great experience and the demo is already available to play. Unfortunately, I don't know when the game will be released, so we have to be patient. Now a game that looks really interesting. It is more on the Deep Rock Galactic side than Vampire Survivors, and if you've played Deep Rock Galactic Survivors, you probably know what I mean. This is a game in which you play as a frog sharpshooter in a mech. Yeah. You will, as always, drop down to the zone and fight hordes of enemies. You can also play with your friends and fight hordes together. What is special about Entropy Survivors is that there are lots of potential builds and gameplay options to choose from. There are skill trees, customizable gear, classes, abilities and so much more. Apart from that, there is your typical survivor experience where you will gain power-ups and just try to survive. Also, the graphical style is amazing, the design of areas and monsters is really good. This title is really fun, like seriously, it feels good to play it. The difficulty levels are scaled just right and the multiplayer experience is on top. Temtem is something you should know or recognize. This is a spin-off basically of a very well-known multiplayer monster taming game, but this time with a survival twist. Again, there is your typical survive the horde aspect, and you can also play along with your friends. You will utilize strategic combat from Temtem and merge it with horde survival gameplay. Your job is to defeat bosses and play as Tems, monsters you collected. You will use their abilities and evolve them to grow stronger and stronger to finally unlock your final evolution. Of course, evolutions are the way to gain massive power-ups, so it's something to look after. Unfortunately, the game is still in early access and there is, I must say, not much content, so yeah. Even though the game is good, I think we still have to wait for some more updates so it can reach its full potential. But if you're into monster tamers, then you might have a lot of fun. This really brutal game is one of the best horde survival games out there and it looks really good. It is made with Unreal Engine 5, so yeah, graphically it looks really solid and it's like Alien Swarm merged with Vampire Survivors. You will face unimaginable numbers of mutated aliens using a lot of different weaponry like plasma discs, orbital cannons and so on. You will as always gain upgrades and just shoot your way through hordes and hordes of incoming monsters. That's basically everything you need to know. It is another game that is just a classic vampire survival like game with some unlocks, build opportunities and so on. So if you're looking for something really close to the classics of the genre, this is a good pick. Hordes of Hel is set in the dark realms of Norse mythology. There is not much to say about it, to be honest, it's just you, your character, hordes of enemies and upgrades you choose from time to time. Your goal is to survive as long as you can, progress through levels, defeat bosses and create interesting builds. Why so high on the list though? It was one of the best reviewed games of January and this title has really good graphics and animations. Apart from that, a few characters to choose from, skills to pick up, God's blessing, some missions for each run and so on. It's a good game, a classic Vampire Survivors-like experience, so if you're looking for the closest gameplay, then with Hordes of Hel you shouldn't be disappointed. The Spell Brigade is easily one of the best games on the list. It combines the survivors-like gameplay you love with good old multiplayer madness. Yes, this game is strongly recommended to play with friends, but you can also play solo. You have objectives to work on, tasks that will reward you with great upgrades, even achievements will reward you with something. It's like good old Magicka with friends, where you will blast your foes and teammates with magic. Don't worry though, you can revive yourself and your teammates back to action quite easily. You will become overpowered, but your blast radius is dangerous, so be prepared because with enchantments, quests, relics and more wizards in your team, the potential for pure chaos is endless. This game is fun as hell, though it feels a bit limited due to still being in early access, so the game lacks some content, but it has the potential to become something really good. And before we jump to spot number 1, I've prepared 5 additional games as honorable mentions. And last but not least, my favorite from the list, a game that blends survival-like elements with a necromancer theme. In Boneraiser Minions, you, as a Boneraiser, must amass an army of skeletons and demons to fight hordes of heroes. You will use the bones of slain heroes to rise and upgrade undead minions and collect powerful relics and spells to defeat the folk. The game looks beautiful, it has some retro NES pixel art style and amazing soundtrack. You can play with different classes, each with its own strengths, lots of game modes, a progression system and so much more. This game is just like Vampire Survivors but with minions, and even though graphically it may look a little bit overwhelming, give it a try. It is easily one of the best games in the genre. And that's everything for today. I hope you liked this video and found some great new games to play. This is the third video about games like Vampire Survivors, and there will be more, but not in the near future. If you want to see more games like this, revisit my older videos, you will easily find them. So yeah, thank you all for watching, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and comment on what you like the most about this genre. Thanks again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.